Imagine this. Your heart stops, your body lies still, the world around you fades into silence, and then something extraordinary happens. A tunnel of light appears before you. You feel weightless, detached from your physical form. Time itself dissolves, and in an instant you find yourself surrounded by an indescribable presence, a force of pure love, wisdom, and understanding. You see memories flash before your eyes, not just as images, but as living moments, each revealing a deeper truth. And then, as suddenly as it began, you are pulled back into your body, back into this world forever changed. What did you just experience? Was it an illusion, a trick of the dying brain, or did you just step beyond the veil of this reality and glimpse something far greater? Near-death experiences, often called NDEs, have fascinated and mystified humanity for centuries. Thousands of people across cultures, religions, and backgrounds have reported eerily similar encounters after being clinically dead for a short time. Some describe traveling through celestial realms, meeting angelic beings, or encountering a presence so vast, so powerful that words cannot contain its essence. Others speak of reliving every action of their life, feeling the emotions they once caused in others as if the universe itself was teaching them a final lesson. But what is really happening during these experiences? Are they visions of the afterlife? Are they evidence of consciousness existing beyond the body? Or could they be something even more mysterious, perhaps a hidden function of the human mind, a key to unlocking higher dimensions of reality? In this video, we will explore the esoteric truths behind near-death experiences. We will look at what ancient spiritual traditions say about this phenomenon, what modern science can and cannot explain, and the hidden lessons these experiences reveal about our existence, our purpose, and the true nature of life and death. Prepare to see reality in a new light, because by the end of this journey, you may never look at life or death the same way again. Near-death experiences are not a modern phenomenon. Long before the rise of scientific inquiry, ancient civilizations recorded profound accounts of individuals who crossed the boundary between life and death, only to return with mystical insights. One of the earliest references comes from Plato's Republic, where he describes the story of a soldier named who was killed in battle but miraculously revived. Claimed to have traveled beyond the physical realm, witnessing souls ascending to higher planes or descending into shadowy depths based on the weight of their actions in life. His tale was not merely a curiosity, it became a cornerstone of Greek philosophical thought, reinforcing the idea that consciousness survives beyond death. In the East, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, Bardo Thodol, serves as a spiritual guide for navigating the realms of existence between death and rebirth. According to Tibetan Buddhism, the dying soul encounters luminous beings, intense visions, and a life review, a concept eerily similar to modern NDEs. The book warns that these visions are both reflections of one's inner state and doorways to liberation. The ancient Egyptians also obsessed over the transition between life and the afterlife. Their Book of the Dead describes the soul's journey through the duat, the mystical underworld. Here, the deceased must face a judgment. The heart is weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the symbol of truth and balance. If the heart is too heavy with wrongdoing, the soul is devoured by Amit, the beast of annihilation. If it is light and pure, the soul moves on to the eternal fields of paradise. In Hinduism, scriptures such as the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads emphasize that consciousness is not bound to the body. Many texts describe the silver cord, an ethereal link between the soul and the physical form. When this cord severs, the soul transitions fully into another plane of existence. Some who have had NDEs report seeing this very phenomenon, a shimmering thread anchoring them to their earthly life. Even in the mystical traditions of the West, such as Kabbalah and Hermeticism, the belief persists that the soul undergoes a profound journey after death. Kabbalistic teachings speak of multiple layers of existence, called the Sephirot, which the soul ascends through as it purifies itself. Meanwhile, Hermetic writings suggest that death is merely a doorway, and those who cultivate spiritual wisdom retain consciousness beyond the veil. But what's most striking is how these ancient beliefs parallel the experiences of modern individuals who have undergone NDEs. Across cultures, religions, and centuries, the same motifs appear: the tunnel of light, the life review, the meeting of divine beings, and the overwhelming feeling of unconditional love. The question we must ask is, why? Are these just deeply embedded myths replaying in the subconscious mind? Or do these accounts reveal a universal truth, a hidden reality beyond our physical senses? What actually happens during a near-death experience? Why do so many people report similar vivid encounters despite differences in culture, religion, or personal beliefs? Let's break it down step by step. 1. The moment of death, the great separation. Many who have experienced an NDE describe a profound moment of detachment from from their physical body. This moment is often accompanied by a feeling of weightlessness, as if their consciousness has suddenly been unshackled from the limitations of flesh. Some recall floating above their own body, watching doctors, nurses, or bystanders attempting to revive them. They hear conversations, sense emotions, and perceive details that would have been impossible from their unconscious state. This is often called veridical perception, a phenomenon where people report events they couldn't have physically witnessed, later confirmed by those who were present. In mystical traditions, this separation has been described for centuries. Many ancient texts reference the etheric body, or subtle body, which exists parallel to the physical form. Some NDErs even see a silver cord, seemingly connecting their spiritual self to their earthly vessel, just as described in the Upanishads. 2. The tunnel of light, the passage between worlds. A strikingly common feature of NDEs is the tunnel of light, a vortex-like pathway that pulls the soul forward. Some describe it as a portal, others as a wormhole, but nearly all agree on one thing. At the end, there is an overwhelming radiance, unlike anything experienced in the physical world. Many interpret this light as divine, associating it with God, the source, or universal consciousness. It is said to exude pure love and absolute peace, a sensation so powerful that many do not wish to return. Interestingly, quantum physicists have likened this tunnel effect to the way light bends in a black hole, suggesting that what we perceive as a tunnel may actually be the transition of consciousness through another dimension. 3. The life review, reliving every moment. One of the most profound aspects of the NDE is the life review, but this is not a simple replay of memories. It is a fully immersive, multidimensional experience. Many report reliving their entire existence, not from their own perspective, but from the perspective of others. They feel the joy they brought into people's lives, but also the pain they inflicted. Every action, every word, every thought, no matter how small, becomes deeply felt. It's as if they are judging themselves, rather than being judged by an external force. This aligns with esoteric teachings that suggest we are our own harshest judges in the afterlife, accountable for our energy, intentions, and the way we treated others. Some report meeting a being of light who gently guides them through this review, not in condemnation, but with pure understanding and love. Could this be an angel, a higher self, or the manifestation of divine wisdom? 4th, encounters with beings and past relatives. Many NDErs describe encounters with other worldly beings, some appearing as radiant entities of light, others as deceased loved ones who seem to be waiting for them. What's fascinating is that these experiences often match the person's spiritual or cultural expectations. A Christian may see Jesus, a Hindu may see Yama, the god of death, while an atheist may experience an undefined yet intelligent presence. This raises an interesting question. Are these entities independent beings, or is the experience shaped by the subconscious mind? Some researchers argue that these encounters reveal a higher dimensional intelligence, a universal force that takes the form we most resonate with, ensuring comfort and familiarity in the transition. 5. The decision to return or not. At some point in the NDE, a crucial moment arises, the choice to return or continue forward. Some describe being told, "It is not your time yet." Others are given a choice, often feeling torn between the deep peace of the afterlife and their unfinished purpose on Earth. Many who return report that they were pushed back into their bodies, often feeling as if they were pulled through the tunnel in reverse, re-entering their form with a sudden jolt. This aligns with many reports of people waking up from clinical death with a deep gasp or sudden awareness. But what causes this return? Is it free will, divine intervention, or an unseen force ensuring that certain souls complete their earthly missions? This is where the mystery deepens. One of the most universal aspects of an NDE is the expansion of awareness. Many people report suddenly having access to knowledge beyond human comprehension, as if their consciousness has merged with an infinite intelligence. They describe the ability to understand past, present, and future simultaneously, a realization that time is an illusion, everything is happening at once, an overwhelming sense that all things are interconnected. Some call this the Akashic Records, the cosmic archive where every event, thought, and action in the universe is recorded. Ancient spiritual traditions have long spoken of such a higher plane of knowledge. In the Hermetic teachings, this is known as the mind of the all, a universal consciousness from which all things emerge. The Tibetan Book of the the Dead describes it as the clear light of ultimate reality, a realm beyond the illusion of self and separation. This raises a profound question. Is our everyday consciousness just a tiny fragment of something much greater? While many NDErs describe encounters with light and love, others report something even more enigmatic: the void. The void is often described as a vast, endless darkness, neither frightening nor comforting, just a state of pure being, a place of absolute stillness and potential. Some who enter the void say it feels like being outside time and space, as if they exist in a state before creation itself. This concept appears in multiple traditions. Taoist philosophy calls it the Wu-Ji, the limitless emptiness before manifestation. The Kabbalah speaks of Ein Sof, the infinite nothingness before God's light. Buddhism refers to it as Sunyata, the ultimate emptiness beyond form. Could it be that the void represents the primordial source of all existence, the blank canvas from which reality itself is painted? Some NDErs claim that within this vast nothingness they felt completely at peace. Others describe it as a place of choosing, where souls decide whether to reincarnate, remain, or move forward into the light. For those who come back from an NDE, the return to the physical body is often described as abrupt, shocking, even painful. Imagine being in a state of infinite bliss, free from time, suffering, and limitation, only to suddenly be pulled back into the dense, restrictive nature of the physical world. Many who return describe feeling like they were forced back into their body, a painful jolt, as if being electrocuted, a sense of frustration or sadness at leaving the afterlife behind. Some even claim they resisted, desperately wanting to stay in the light, but were told, "You have more to do." This experience mirrors ancient reincarnation beliefs. Many spiritual traditions suggest that before a soul returns, it makes a sacred agreement, choosing its next life based on the lessons it needs to learn. Could it be that those who return from NDEs do so because their mission is not yet complete? Regardless of what someone experiences in an NDE, one thing is clear: they are never the same afterward. People who have had NDEs often report losing their fear of death, knowing there is something beyond, a deepened sense of purpose, feeling they were sent back for a reason, an increase in psychic or intuitive abilities, as if their consciousness has been permanently expanded, a complete shift in values, placing less importance on materialism and more on love, connection, and spiritual growth. Many say that the afterlife feels more real than life itself, as if this world is the illusion and the next is the true reality. This aligns with the teachings of Plato, the Gnostics, and many mystical traditions, which suggest that life on Earth is like a dream and death is merely waking up. So what does all of this mean? Are NDEs proof of an afterlife, or are they simply the brain's response to trauma? The evidence suggests something profound. Consciousness is not just a byproduct of the brain, it exists beyond it. If near-death experiences offer a glimpse beyond the veil, the question becomes, do we really have to nearly die to access this wisdom? Many spiritual traditions and mystical practices suggest that it's possible to reach similar states of expanded awareness while still alive, through meditation, breathwork, and intentional spiritual practices. Here's how. 1. Meditation, the conscious exit from the body. Many near-death experiencers describe the sensation of floating outside their body, observing themselves from above. Interestingly, advanced meditation techniques across traditions claim to induce similar states. The Tibetan Buddhists practiced Dzogchen, which teaches how to dissolve the illusion of the self and merge with infinite awareness. The yogic tradition describes the samadhi state, where meditators report losing all sense of individuality and merging with pure consciousness. Hermetic and Kabbalistic practices speak of reaching the supernal realms through deep contemplation. Practice. Try a deep meditation where you focus on detaching from the physical body. Imagine yourself floating upward, viewing yourself from above. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to experience states beyond the physical self. 2. Lucid dreaming and astral projection, exploring the afterlife realms. Many NDErs say their experiences felt just like a lucid dream, but far more vivid and real. This suggests that the dream state might be a doorway to the same non-physical realms. Lucid dreaming allows you to become fully conscious while dreaming, gaining control and awareness of the non-physical reality. Many mystics believe that lucid dreams and astral projection are direct ways to explore the dimensions people encounter during NDEs. Egyptian and Tibetan mystics practiced dream yoga, believing that the dream state was a training ground for the afterlife. The astral plane has been described for centuries in occult traditions as a realm beyond the material world, accessible through altered states of consciousness. Practice. Before sleeping, repeat the intention. Tonight I will wake up inside my dreams. Keep a dream journal and over time, train yourself to become conscious and dreams. This is one of the most direct ways to experience non-physical realities. 3. Breathwork. Inducing NDE-like states without dying. Certain breathing techniques can induce altered states of consciousness similar to NDEs, bringing people to states of euphoria, timelessness, and deep inner peace. Holotropic breathwork, developed by Dr. Stanislav Grof, has led people to experience profound mystical visions and out-of-body experiences. Tummo breathing, practiced by Tibetan monks, generates deep heat and a sense of separation from the physical body. The Wim Hof method has shown that deep breathing can change brain chemistry, allowing access to heightened awareness. Practice. Try deep rhythmic breathing. 1. Inhale for 4 seconds. 2. Hold for 7 seconds. 3. Exhale for 8 seconds. Repeat for several minutes and observe how your perception shifts. Many report feeling light, detached, and deeply aware, states similar to the early phases of an NDE learning from your past without dying. One of the most powerful aspects of an NDE is the life review, where people relive their entire existence from a higher perspective. But why wait until death? You can do this now. Practice. Sit in meditation and mentally revisit your past experiences. Imagine watching them from a neutral, third-person perspective without judgment. Focus on understanding the emotions of others. How did your actions impact them? Ask yourself, what am I here to learn? By doing this consciously, you gain the wisdom of an NDE without needing to go through one. 5. The mindset shift. Living as if you have already died and returned. Many NDErs say that after returning, they see life differently. They realize that checkmark fear is an illusion. Most things we worry about don't matter. Love and connection are the only things of true value. Death is not the end, only a transition. So, why not adopt this perspective now? If you knew you had already died and come back, how would you live? What fears would you let go of? What passions would you finally pursue? By integrating these realizations, you begin to live with the wisdom of the near-death experience without needing to experience death itself. Final thought, do we really need to die to awaken? Throughout history, mystics and spiritual seekers have sought the answers that NDErs stumble upon by accident. The truth seems clear. We do not need to die to experience the truth of existence. The afterlife is not just a place we go when we die. It's a state of being we can access here and now. The real question is, will we wait until death forces us to awaken, or will we seek to awaken now while we are still alive? If near-death experiences have taught us anything, it's that we are more than just our physical bodies. Beyond the veil of death lies a vast interconnected reality, one that NDErs describe as being more real than life itself. But the most profound revelation is this: you don't have to wait until you die to discover these truths. The 3 key takeaways from near-death experiences. 1. Consciousness exists beyond the body. The countless testimonies of NDErs suggest that awareness continues even when the brain is clinically dead. Science may not yet fully explain this, but ancient wisdom has always pointed to the same truth. You are not just your body. What this means for you: if consciousness is not confined to the body, then your true self is far greater than you think. Your awareness is limitless, capable of transcending time, space, and even death itself. 2. Love is the only thing that truly matters. Those who return from NDEs often say that material achievements, money, and status mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. The only thing that truly holds weight is how much love we gave and received. What this means for you: imagine you are already at the end of your life. Looking back, what will you wish you had done differently? Would you have loved more, forgiven more, followed your true path instead of living in fear? 3. Death is not the end. It is a transition. Perhaps the greatest gift of an NDE is the realization that death is nothing to be feared. It is not the annihilation of the self, but a doorway into something far greater. What this means for you: if death is not the end, then why live in fear? The things that hold us back, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, are all illusions. Once you embrace the reality that life is eternal, you gain the courage to truly live. A final question to reflect on. Imagine for a moment that you had an NDE today. Imagine leaving your body, feeling infinite peace, and seeing your entire life from a higher perspective. What would you realize? What regrets would you have? What would you change, starting right now? The truth is, you don't need to nearly die to wake up. The wisdom of the near-death experience is available to you now if you are willing to listen. The choice is yours. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you or someone you know ever had a near-death experience? Let us know below. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of existence. See you in the next video.